In this short video, I'm going to talk about why I think Kamala Harris or any other Democrat really is positioned better to beat Trump in the upcoming election than Joe Biden. And I'll explain why. Let's take a look at approval as kind of a baseline. And it's interesting because if you look at Kamala's approval and Biden's approval right now in July, it's really very similar at around 37, 36%. But I'm going to take a high watermark of 52% for Kamala and then 15% in the other direction down to 22% for Joe Biden. And I'll explain why in just a moment. And this is what I would call the beat Trump zone. This is where you need to be approval wise, let's say 45% and up approval to be able to beat Trump. And this will become very critical as I proceed here. Now, I would propose that Biden has what I'll call a hard ceiling of around 40%. And why is that? Well, all the perceptions out there, or most of them, are hardened among voters. They have already concluded and are not moving off the position that Biden is too old and incapable of doing the job of president. For whatever reason, that is their perception. And even the ABC interview following the really bad debate performance, even that interview did not change any minds. And the approval stayed kind of the same. Now, on the other hand, I would propose that Kamala has a hard floor and of around 35%. And what does that mean? Well, all the memes and internet things are out there. She's been vetted. It's all out there already. And so she's got limited downside, whereas Biden has extremely limited upside. Kamala has limited downside. Now, what that means is she's got a high ceiling now of around, I would say, 48%. And what does that mean? That means there's a huge opportunity to reintroduce Kamala to voters. She can get to know kind of the voters get to know her, and there's only upside here. And that's critical as we look at this. Meanwhile, Biden has a very low floor of, let's say, 25%. And why is that? Well, there's risk here. One more gaffe, one more misstep, and his approval could actually fall dramatically from where it is. And that means maybe more Democrats and certainly more independents are going to lose even more faith in him. And here's why there's only downside risk for Biden. And what makes this even more important is that independents come into play here. I've talked to a lot of independents who would never, ever, ever vote for Biden. Their perceptions are hardened, very, very hardened. And so they've also told me that they would vote for any younger Democrat, literally anyone except Biden. So what does that mean? They might vote for Kamala as she gets reintroduced in the in the process. She might get the votes of those independents. And that is critical to get to the beat Trump zone. So, this is why I believe that Kamala or another younger Democrat is the only opportunity at this point to beat Trump.